Right, good day guys and welcome back to the channel. It's been a while since I've done a video, but I feel like the video that I'm about to do for this is definitely needed because I spent over 2 hours doing the tutorials on this game when it first released, just over a week or so ago. And since then I've had a bit of a love-hate relationship with it because I find it quite tricky when you actually dive into either the campaign or a custom game or even a scenario, because there's so much the tutorials I found, or I've since found, there's so much the tutorials don't tell you in terms of constructing tracks and building tracks and so forth, and linking cities. So I'm gonna wing this. I mean, this game is unpredictable. I kind of want to love it, but it keeps tripping me up every time I start a new campaign or a custom game. It keeps tripping me up, so I'm kind of going to wing this video in a custom game that I'm going to start up, and I'm going to wing my way through it and hope that I can apply to the game what I've picked up by watching other streamers or other YouTube videos. And hopefully, if you come across my channel and if you follow my channel, this video will prove useful to you as much as the things I've picked up on and absorbed have proved useful. So we'll start a custom game. I'm gonna go to Europe. I'm gonna go to the British Isles, and I'm gonna start. I tell you what, because it's close to me, I'm gonna start in Birmingham because it's close to me. So starting year is 1830. 24 cities, number of rural businesses is 60. I've got no rank. I'm just going to fire it up. I'm going to keep everything here as it is just for the sake of speed for this video. So I'm not going to change anything here. I'm going to stick with the default character and just go for it, because this video is going to be more about hopefully showing you a few tips and tricks and of things that aren't initially, I don't think, are explained very well during the tutorial period. So I'm going to leave all these settings here that you see as they are as well. Initial funds of 3 million. And I'm going to hopefully teach you a few things and make your gaming experience of this game a little bit more easygoing.
Good that you're here. Your company was founded and you have only one competitor in this reasonable region. I have full confidence in your abilities and have already written down a few tasks for you.
So first things first, I'm going to pause it. Now he's done his little intro down there, I'm going to pause the game so time does advance whilst I just find my feet in terms of what I've got to do here. So we're in January the 1st, 1830. I've got 3 million in the bank. I'm starting off in Birmingham, and I've got, is it 10 tasks he's given me there? So let's bring up the radio menu, go to the task list. And let's see what I've got. So, transport a total of 4,000 mailbags by 1832. Produce cloth in a city by December 1834. Own a total of 6 industries and businesses by December 1836. December 1838, earn 455,000 revenue from mail in a quarter. December 1840, build tracks with a total length of 1,522 miles. I won't read the rest, I'll plod along with what I've got, because they are quite, I won't say easy, but some of the tasks, because the tasks are, they differ every time you fire a different campaign up or a different scenario, and they tend to differ. So, and some of them, like, you may get a task that only literally gives you start in 1830, and by June 1830, you've got to have transported so much lumber, so much sugar, and so on. This seems to have cut me a little bit of slack here with regards to not giving me anything to do that I've got to do within the first, well, for the first 2 years. So, transport yourself mailbags. So, I've got to get mailbags. So, first things first, you look at my city, Birmingham, and if I hover, Birmingham is producing meat. And if I zoom out, So I want to get to have a look at Manchester is producing meat. So where's the closest to me really now? Do I go north? Do I start working my way north? Do I go south? For the sake of this, right? Let's go. Let's start working our way. I'm tempted to go south because there's more of these. Because you see these things here, these symbols. Those mean that if I get a connection to that city, I get a bonus of 209,000, let's call it pounds because I'm in the UK, and I've got 139 days left to do that. And same with this one over here. If I connect this one, £500,000 bonus if I connect that within 139 days. That is also, you can see there, Duncan fattening. I don't think the guy at the beginning said that I've got any competitors. Sometimes you get competitors in the game that you've got to worry about, and you've got to kind of outsmart and outdo. But I tell you what we'll do. Let's hover over Manchester a second and press on it. Now, once I've pressed on Manchester, using the panel that's come up on the right hand side there, the top box, if I click on that, shows me the list of goods. And then if you hold down, I'm playing on PS5, I'm playing on console, so this will apply to the Xbox as well, but obviously I have the relevant buttons that will apply to the Xbox version. I've seen this being streamed and played on a PC, and it seems to be a little bit more user-friendly, this UI does on PC with a mouse. But here now, for example, I had no idea what some of them symbols meant, but if you hold down the L2 button, it brings up like this little cursor, and then if you hover over any of these symbols or icons, that tells you what they are, what they represent. So that shows me the stock in this city of corn, is it corn? No, grain, livestock, corn, lumber, and so on. And that green cog there shows me that in this city, those goods are being produced. So it's all about demand, it's all about building an empire and supply and demand. So if I go to that box, current delivery by train, as you can see there's none because I haven't set up any railways yet. That is the demand per week of things that this city of mine needs. And that's the fulfillment of demand in the last few weeks or weeks. And again, because I've only just started and I paused the game, there's nothing being transported as of yet. So what I'm going to look for here is like my city of Birmingham, for example, where I'm starting, it needs grain. Demand per week, 0.5. It also needs livestock to carry on producing meat, 2.4. So I need to make sure that I'm getting livestock brought to this city, at the very least, so I can continue producing meat. So let's just have a... So beer as well needs beer. And if you fulfill the demand of the various cities, you also bring more citizens to the city as well. More tourists or more citizens. So what I want to do here first off is look to where I can get livestock and start bringing livestock to my city. So exit out of that. Let's zoom in here. So what we got here, we got that was grain, wasn't it? Not corn. So where am I going to find livestock? Oh, here, right here, right here. So this is the first thing I'm going to do. To continue producing meat, I'm going to have to put a station here at this this business. Amazon Fattening. Constructed in 1829, privately owned, level 1. So if I go to the construction menu, build, and I want to do a station, or is it not going to let me? Oh no, I need to do a station in my my hometown first. So building. Let's just rotate that around. Now, if I zoom in here now, you see how you can see in the centre where the cursor is, you can see my building. That building when I rotate it around, that building at the very least needs to be in the green squares. The tracks don't have to be, but if that white strip there with the building is in the green squares, and that is showing as white, that means I can construct there. Now, what I need to be wary of here is, when I build this, is what direction it's facing in, because I've got to look at being able to shift things north afterwards, because I want to head north. So let's zoom in. I'm going to put it at about that angle, and we'll construct it there, and then we'll do another one. Now that's turned white now, means I construct it because I've already got one, and then I've got to just connect the two. So let's put this one, let's put it there, so I haven't got much of an angle when I build the track. And then I want to build the track. Now, when you first build the station, if I come back out of there now, when I zoom in, you can see that I've got one track, one station, one track. But when I go to the build track construction, you can see there now that I've got 8 platforms. But not those ones that are showing up in, let's call it like a light green. I haven't built them yet. But if I build my track here, hang on, zoom in. If I build my track there, you'll see, look at, before I even complete it and get to my destination station, look at the cost of the track. 351,000, well, 300, let's round it up and call it 352,000. That's because if you look at where it says station platforms, because I'm building it on the very last track, it's going to want to build all these other tracks as well, which is why it's costing so much. But seeing as this is a station for nothing other than resource, I don't need to use these outer tracks, because I only really need maybe 1 or 2 tracks tops coming from here. So if I go on the first track here instead, and then start to build, look at the cost. Look at the difference in cost. Even though I've still not connected it to the main station, look at the difference in the cost. So if I zoom out now, and then take that to my station in Birmingham, and I put that, let's put this on the 3rd track in there, because I want to use the first 2 tracks for maybe passengers and mail. I want resource to come in there. Now that's still going to cost me 139, because I've gone on to the 3rd track in Birmingham, but it's still not costing me the 352,000 that it was before when I was picking the last platform, because it's not needing to build all those extra platforms. So I'm going to build that there. I'm going to lay that down, and before I finalise and press the triangle button to execute the planning, if you look down the track before you finalise it, I can see that that is pretty smooth, and I'm getting max speed. It's pretty flat, it's pretty smooth. My trains are going to be able to go at max speed, as you can see. I'm just thinking something in my head here. Hang on, let me reevaluate that. What I'm going to do. This will all make sense in a minute. This will. Right. Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. We'll keep it as one track. We'll keep it as one track. So my train is going to be, because it's not a very long journey anyway, is it? So we'll keep it as what I was thinking about doing a double track. But we'll do it as one, because it's not a very long journey. So my trains are going to be able to achieve maximum speed, because there's not much in the way of steep hills or inclines, and the track is all grey. Now, if the track was different colours, like red, or I think it's like a blue or a blue or a purple, that means I'm needing to do tunnels, or there's too steep an incline. But it's perfectly flat, so I can execute planning on that and go for it. Now, then I've got to pick the direction of the track. Now, as it stands there now, like that means it's neutral, so the train will travel in both. It will go one way, then turn around and come back again. If I was doing 2 tracks, you can press on them, and you can have the two tracks, one running one way, one running the other way, but I'm going to keep it neutral. And then I'm also going to put on there a supply tower halfway down the route, about there, because the supply tower supplies the locomotives with water, sand and oil to keep them in optimal operating condition. As it says there, construction costs 30,000. So we'll do that. So the track is down, I've got the direction of the track, so now I need to create a new rail line. So the route is going to be from this train station to that train station. Then I need to pick my train. I've only got the rocket available to me. That's going to be more than ample. I only need one train because it's just literally going to go drop the livestock off, come back again, grab more, and so on. So loading will be completely automatic because it's a resource. He's only be able to take one, and then the routes of your A-line ones on tracks are clear for both directions, and the route offers no alternatives. If there is more than one train on this route, there will be conflicts. Well, that doesn't apply to me. I'm only running one train, so there's no danger of a train coming back again while one's heading back out. So that's fine. That's confirmed. So you should see now, when I unpause the game, my train is coming in, and it will fill up. If I zoom right down, you'll see the carriages with the livestock will start to build up. And then that will set off and go and deliver that livestock to Birmingham for me, so I can keep producing meat. And if I press R1 to pick the nearest train, once I've got the train selected, the camera will follow the train once it sets off. You can see there it details the train. No, it's not following the train. Okay, so I need to do ride along. Like so. The camera controls are very finicky on console compared to PC. It needs to be more like a free camera, in my opinion. I have tweeted them suggesting it needs something closer to having a free camera. But we'll come out of that now. The train's heading off on its merry way. Right, we'll leave that doing that. Now, while that is doing that, I won't pause the game now because I want that to run its course. Now what I want to have a look at is maybe heading... Do I want to go north or do I want to go to... What's in Oxford? There's a connection bonus here for me up for grabs. They are producing cloth. I think that's cloth. Let me just check. Is it, yeah, cloth. So, if that's producing cloth, what do they need? Let's have a look if they want meat. Stock in the city. Current delivery by train. They've got a slight demand of meat. Is that mine? Rolling Thunder. Is that mine? Yeah, it is as well. So I've made the newspaper. So I mean, hang on. Oh no. So their fulfillment is 100%. So they didn't really need meat. So I won't go to, even though there's a connection bonus to connect to Oxford. I won't go to Oxford. What's in Cambridge? Beer. Let's have a look for meat. They've got enough meat as well. They didn't really need much demand in meat. And I know for a fact, I'm pretty sure Manchester is producing meat as well. What about Liverpool's producing meat? Well, I've got to do mail, haven't I? So, let me just have another look at Cambridge a minute. So, you show stuff like mail. Doesn't show mail, does it? But surely every city wants passengers going to and from. So, what I'll do is I'm going to set up a line. Let me just build a station in Oxford, because I'll get a connection bonus for doing this as well. So let me zoom right down there, make sure it's in the red box, and then track construction. So this might get a bit trickier now because I've got a bit of a curve going on. So let's connect that to the first track. There, let's have a look at the track. Have we got any major... No major curvature, no inclines, no tunnels, maximum speed is achieved. This is where the game was catching me out when I was first playing it. When I was building tracks, it was costing me like 1.5, 1.6 million to build tracks. So that is good for me, that is. So if I execute planning, and then if I see that symbol that's come up now showing the two tracks, if I click on that, that should give me a parallel track. And the parallel tracks are always a little bit cheaper. So I'll execute planning on that as well. Then I want to do a gridiron, because I'm going to have multiple trains running from here. So we'll put one there. And we'll put one there. And I also need supply tower. We'll put a supply tower halfway down the route. There. And then I want to connect them two. So again, let's do... Birmingham to Oxford. Oh, I know what I haven't done. Is done the direction of the lines. So let's go back on here. Let's do... that one going that way. That one going that way. And then we'll do we'll connect the two stations. I should, or I might, get my connection bonus as well. Then we'll have two trains. Loading as automatic. Or should we have it express? So I'll have it as automatic for now. and then we'll confirm. Then you might, or should, because I haven't paused it. Yeah, he's there now, he's in. So what I do need... What's that saying? So he's off. So what's he got on board? Mail, no passengers, and meat. So if I click on the station, what I do want to do here is build a maintenance depot. And that'll repair the trains when they're doing their journeys. So there you go. The camera is so finicky. So they're en route. So my other train should be still doing the livestock. Where is he? Oh, he's in there just dropping off, just pulling in. He's only got one carriage. Maybe there isn't as much demand then. So I've not got my connection bonus yet. Maybe when the train arrives, I'll get my connection bonus. Let's see what happens. Let's swipe the D-pad. Or not the D-pad, the touchpad. If you swipe on the PlayStation, DualSense, and that speeds the game up. If you swipe to the right. So he's coming in. The other train should maybe set off in a minute as well. Yeah, there you go. Bonus for new connection, 209,000. So my money's shot back up. So let's just go back up here a second. Yeah, there's my other train. So those two trains are going to be coming back and forth from Birmingham to Oxford, transferring passengers and mail. Now what I need to do here is maybe, if I look at, if I can remember what to do here now, this is another thing that I found the tutorials didn't really show you. So if I go on to, I've got to remember this now, I think it is select on the station, oh no, that's name the station. This is where I'm going to get stuck again now. Let's route list. There you go, route list. So those are my routes. So I've got the Amerson train station to Birmingham, which is transferring the livestock, and then I've got Birmingham to Oxford. Now, if I click on that, and then I come down to, I think it's the edit button, which is underneath the camera on the right hand side here in this other panel. No, that's the name. Square button. square button goes across to the stations on the other side, and see where it's showing me the stations and what's being transported. You can prioritise in here. So if I click on Birmingham, I can say that I don't want meat going to Oxford because it's got enough. The demand is more than enough. So I can say prioritise passengers and mail. Don't bother doing any meat. But then in that list of priorities there, the meat is the last one anyway. So it shouldn't be taking that much meat if it's the last in the priority. What you can do is set up warehouses. Once you've set up warehouses, it will store the meat and then it will distribute it and kind of forward that product on to other cities that maybe need it once you've set up warehouses. But I'm going to confirm that I'm going to keep meat off, and I'll keep an eye on Oxford, so that's confirmed. And then confirm, there you go. So let me just double check. Yeah, so meat, see where Birmingham is now on the left hand side? Meat has gone from there, but from Oxford I'm getting passengers mail and cloth. So cloth is being delivered to Birmingham. So if I look at Birmingham now, let me just have a look. And let's see, I mean, what's the cloth like? Current delivery by train, what's the demand? Demand per week. So there is a bit of demand for cloth in Birmingham. So as time goes on, maybe I can take that demand or take the cloth out of the priority list for delivery because it's got more than enough. So for the last part of this video, let's see about connecting. Let's try and what's the bonus for connecting York? 324,000, so this will be quite rough terrain this. So I'm going to see about connecting York to Oxford, and you may see here now some real tricky track construction required here. So if I go to building construction first, let's put a station in Oxford. Let's rotate it so that it's facing where my Birmingham at least. Let's put it about there. Let's build a track, and again let's have the first two tracks I'm going to use for passengers and mail. Now, this is where you might see that it gets very costly. So where's Birmingham? Oh, all the way over here. So that's going to cost me $1 million. Well, just over $1 million. So if I go up the track, see these purple areas here? That's tunnelling. And that's all there is, to be fair. So all I need to do there is raise that up. So if I do a track point by clicking on the track point, I've got a flag symbol like that. So click on it to insert track point, and then you use the D-pad to press up or down to raise the track. And when you do that, look at the cost how it's gone down. It's halved, almost halved. And again here, so insert track point up on the D-pad to bring it so it's above ground, so there's no tunnelling required. Look how it's gone down again to 187,000 on the right hand side there in that panel. And when I'm happy with that, I don't think I can do much more with that. I'm still getting maximum speed of my train. And York has got beer, so York is going to be bringing beer to Birmingham, and beer is always good. I've got one OER, I've got one bridge. I've got one bridge there, that's good. So if I can take that down, I wonder if I can take that down. So track point, down on the D-pad. Got it down to 158,000 now by going down. Let me zoom out and make sure there's no more tunneling happening. Because I've taken the track down. I'm still achieving maximum speeds. Apart from here, the speed goes down because there's a little bit here. So maybe track point here. For the price, that's probably the best I'm going to get. And that's quite a long route as well. So I'm going to execute planning. I'm going to put a parallel track in, which is going to cost me 217,000. Execute planning on that. Then I need a gridiron. Put it in because I'm going to have 2 trains running on it. Now let's have that one running that way, that running that way. And then I need a supply tower. It's quite a long route, so I'm going to put one there. And one there. And that's done. So now I need to create that as a new line. So let's select Birmingham. What's the I telling me here? We'll look at that in a minute. So Birmingham. To Oxford. To York, sorry, Birmingham to York. Let's have 2 trains again, and let's have express on this one. And then confirm. Job done. Oh, what's this saying? The demand for imported good cloth has been reduced because it has reached maximum level. So what I need to do there is go on to my train station and maybe build a warehouse. Not a post office, not a dispatch hall. No, not a depot. Maybe I can't do where. Oh, I know. I think. So that route is running now. Let me just go on to its research. I haven't unlocked warehouses yet, I don't think. So you've got to do that in research. So, warehouse. Ah, right, okay, so I can't unlock that until I redo an adjacent panel. So I've got to do... Ah, right, okay, so I can't unlock warehouses yet. So you get innovation points. I've got 260. You get 60 innovation points per month. So I've got 320 now. So that's just changed as I'm in this menu. So now I can do iron fire tubes, which flame tubes made of iron make boilers cheaper and more durable than previous copper versions. Decreases the price of new locomotives by 5% as well. So I'm going to unlock that. And then I've got to wait until I've got another 60 innovation points. Oh no, 2 more months I've got to pass by, so that I've got enough to unlock warehouses. Because you've got all this research that you can do and unlock. So have a look, see if I've got a train running. Yep, he's off, he's there. So if I select that train, what's he got on board? Passengers and mail. Which is what I want. to be fair. But then coming back from York, I want beer. So if I go onto the route list, York, yeah, beer's on there, so beer is the third priority. So it will start transporting beer for me down to Birmingham from York. So if I go back out of that a second, because I'll leave that as is, and let's have a look at Birmingham a second. Where's beer? Is beer on there? Oh no, it's because I've come down. So stock in the city, current delivery by train. Well, the demand is there, but it's got 100% fulfillment, so I probably don't need beer, but it's never, you know, you can never have too much. So there you go, them are my routes going. Now, when I connect Manchester, what I could do with Manchester is when I build a station in Manchester, even though they've got meat and I don't really need much more meat, just to get the cities connected, so I've got the Empire building, what I can do is do a station in Manchester, face it this way, and then do 2 tracks coming across here and get them join onto this track, or I could build another 2 more tracks here and have it join on. So hopefully, guys, this little short video that I've done here is give you a little bit more of an insight in how to connect, how to construct your stations, how to construct and build your tracks, how to connect cities together, and how to get the flow of your trains going in all the right directions with the right and correct flow of goods for supply and demand without any conflicts, because the tutorial I found didn't do a very good job of explaining this, especially when constructing your tracks and laying down your tracks. And when I had tracks that were costing me 1.5 million to construct, because I've got gradients, I've got tunnels, and I was trying to get the best route that I could to avoid going needing to do tunnels and massive bridges and so on. Hopefully this video is going to help you going forward in getting to grips with the game a little bit more, and also make it a little bit more of a pleasant experience, because I was ready to throw the towel in. I was tearing my hair with how frustrated it was in terms of using the UI. Because even, let me just go back a second here now, if I zoom in, even like this here, right, so I click on York, and then I go on this here, those symbols, like all the icons, I didn't know what they were. Especially the 4 boxes on the top, I didn't know what they were. And it was, you know, I only come across this by chance, where if you hold down the L2 button, he brings up the cursor so that you can hover the cursor over them, and it explains what they were. And not once, I don't recall it once explaining that in the tutorials. And I was seeing it being streamed on the PC, and when they were moving the mouse pointer around, because they were using mouse and keyboard on the PC, everything just seemed so much better explained on the PC version. But since I discovered this is a godsend, because it tells me what these are, and it tells me what what the materials and the goods are, and then what these 4 boxes mean. Made it much more easy and a pleasant experience. So yeah, hopefully this video is going to help you to get you up and running on the game. And you know, there's still things I'm learning. As I'm playing it, there's still more and more things I'm learning as I go, and no doubt, you know, there'll be problems I'll run into. Like I've had trains breaking down. Like I think I've got one here now. Yeah, small breakdown. Now with them, I mean, I've got supply towers and I've also got maintenance yards. That's just a waiting game. There's not much more you can do about that other than wait, and then it'll repair itself, and then it'll get underway again. But obviously, if you have too many of them, it's going to slow your journeys down. Because this train, when it gets in here in a minute, is not going to be able... Because I've got the line set up to go one go one way, one go the other. When that train turns around, it's not going to be able to go up on this track. So it'll be interesting to see whether, when he does turn around, if he sticks to this track so he can get past, or whether that's going to bring things to a standstill. Shall we wait and see before I end the video? Because I was getting all ready to wrap up the video and end it, but shall we, let's wait and see, shall we, and see what happens here now. When he turns round, there you go, he's turning round now and his carriage is loading. Now let's see if he crosses over here when he comes back out of the station. If he crosses over there and comes onto this track that I've got highlighted, there's going to be problems if that train is still broken down, which it is. So let's just wait for him to load up and get underway. Unless he doesn't get underway because he you know, he doesn't even set off because of that problem with the train up on the track. Is he still broken down? He is still broken down. I don't think it gives you a time scale on when the train is going to be repaired. And there's nothing you can do to force its hand, I don't think, here. Train data, balance, centre train, ride along. Oh, he's going, he's on the way again. We're okay. So bearing in mind he's off and running, has he set off yet, or has he been waiting? He might still be loading, yeah, he's still loading up. So yeah, we're not going to get to see that anyway. So yeah, I'm going to end it here. So if this video helps you at all, in the same way other videos helped me to kind of find my feet in this game, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. My quarterly balance, there we go, that's quarterly balance. That's one of my tasks, I think, and I might have just passed that task, I don't know. Yeah, so subscribe to the channel if you haven't done already. Hit the notification bell so they get notified when I post more content. And yes, as I said at the start, please give it a thumbs up, because I hope this helps you the same way I got helped by others and picked up. So I thought I'd share the knowledge, you know. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one.